Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. Back on May 29th, 2024, which was only a week before that abysmal Star Wars The Acolyte series premiered on Disney Plus on June 4th, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslye Headland, who had created the series and was its showrunner, said in an interview with the New York Times that the production budget for the series was $180 million, which was assumed to be a figure in US dollars. But maybe it wasn't. But that was the value that I had reported in all of my previous videos about The Acolyte, since Headland had revealed that number. And now, as it turns out, that number probably wasn't in US dollars. But before proceeding, I'd like to ask everyone to please like this video, please leave a comment, please subscribe to support this channel, and please press the bell to receive notifications. Thanks! As of yesterday, September 24th, 2024, That Park Place released an exclusive article indicating that based on tax documents recently filed in the UK, which is where the show was produced, the actual production budget for The Acolyte was actually around $231 million.
Yes.
United Kingdom tax documents filed by the Walt Disney Company's UK branch reveal that Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company spent over £172 million, which is equivalent to around $231 million, on the production of The Acolyte. And in the image of the document shared in the article, the £172 million is the sum of the two values listed as cost of sales. Around £38 million as of September 24th, 2022, and around another £134.3 million as of September 24th, 2023. In an interview with Vanity Fair, which was actually the New York Times, as I said earlier in the video, the Acolyte series creator, Leslye Headland, publicly claimed that the show cost $180 million, which may very well have been this value. It is evident that if Headland had knowledge of the series' financials, that she was more likely referring to the amount in British pounds. And accounting for exchange rates at the time of this article, this means that The Acolyte cost around $230 million or $231 million US dollars, as mentioned earlier in the article. So since the now cancelled series had 8 episodes, that works out to a production cost of around $28.9 million per episode. But with a total runtime of around 5 hours and 23 minutes, that means that each minute of the series cost around $715,000 to produce. And if we compare that to the first season of House of the Dragon, whose 10 episodes came out in 2022 with a total runtime of around 10 hours and 15 minutes, and a production cost of $200 million, that works out to a per episode cost of around $20 million, or a per minute cost of around $325,000. In other words, Warner Bros. Discovery spent around 45.5% as much to produce around twice as much content that was very popular with streamers as Disney spent to produce the barely streamed series The Acolyte. But there's one more comparison that we can make. Given that The Acolyte is the least viewed Star Wars series on Disney Plus, how much money did Disney and Lucasfilm spend to produce each of those series per individual household that viewed each show? As this chart illustrates, based on the current data that I have regarding Disney's and Lucasfilm's production budgets for each of the Star Wars shows that were streamed on Disney Plus, and the estimated number of households that actually watched, all but Andor and The Acolyte had a production cost that was under $10 per household that streamed those shows. In other words, it cost Disney and Lucasfilm less than $10 per household that watched to produce The Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka, and all 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. But for Andor, its production cost was equivalent to just over $30 per household that streamed the show, while for The Acolyte, it was an equivalent production cost of around more than $32 per household that streamed the show. The total streamed minutes for Andor was around 4.6 billion minutes streamed, while for The Acolyte, it was around 2.3 billion minutes streamed. So the Andor series was streamed around twice as much as The Acolyte, and it also had around an estimated 1 million more households that tuned in as compared with The Acolyte. Andor got a second season, but The Acolyte did not because it very simply cost too much to produce and wasn't worth it based on the number of people who actually streamed the show. That's the true power of many, or the lack thereof.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button, and please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.